The following podcast may contain spoilers, child language, and violence and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, Brian, what happened to Tony?
He's got space dementia.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Tony, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hello everyone, it's 4 a.m. once again, and that means it's time for the 4 a.m. podcast, where me and my friends watch movies from our past and see how they hold up to our older, more cynical selves. I'm your host as always, Tony. Joining me today is...
Brian?
Rob?
Joe!
Alright guys, heads up, the Earth's darkest day will be man's finest hour, because it's closer than you think. It's time to kick asteroid.
None of that's true.
No. We watched Armageddon from 1998, directed, of course, by our good buddy Michael Bay.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, we're going back to the Bay. Director of Bad Boys 1 and 2, The Rock, Pearl Harbor, and a slew of horrible Transformer movies I'd rather not even think about.
And the Ninja Turtles.
It just produced on those.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, if you're going that, Platinum Dunes and all their leather-faced garbage. Anyway.
He still had his dick in those turtles, that's for sure.
He sure did.
Aliens?
No, they're not aliens. They're mutants.
Oh, they are now?
Because that would be stupid.
Okay.
Which is a line from the movie.
Yes. After
He tried.
the backlash.
He tried.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
After the horrible backlash. So, what is your personal history with this movie, Brian?
When it came out, I was all about this movie. Like, it was like astronauts and like explosions and like Liv Tyler and like Bruce Willis. I was in. I saw it in the theaters. I saw it at home.
Okay. Rob.
I'm pretty sure they played this, like, in high school, like, when it was, like, close to summertime, and the teachers had just given up. They were just like, here's this movie.
Was our school that bad? All right.
And that's all. I don't think I watched all of it. Oof.
All right, Joe.
I remember leaving a movie theater confused and mad.
How you
Like-
shit your pants?
No, just...
He just hit puberty. Like, this movie was so long, he went through puberty in its entirety.
I could have. Like, I came out of it with hair in places that didn't have hair before, and my voice had cracked. No, but I remember walking back to the car with a group of people that absolutely loved this movie, and I was just so confused and angry because I was like, that was the worst directed thing I've ever seen.
So he went out and got himself new friends.
I did, yeah. That's why I hang out with you guys.
Which,
okay.
know. And today when he leaves here, he's going to start anew once again.
Yep. Just burn us all to the ground and start over.
Your replacements are waiting to beat your asses when you get outside.
We're going to get a burn notice printing out of my printer over there.
All right. Yeah, I know I saw this on video at some point, probably in my video store days, if not before that. And
I can only imagine trying to watch this on like the little Tommy K's TVs at the other end of the store.
yeah.
Like with just the shaky cam and the 1 second cuts and just everyone yelling. It must have been totally incomprehensible.
Yes. But I had that same effect when I watched it at home on my big screen TV, so it's all good. All right. So that's our history with this movie. Brief history of this movie itself. First of all, props for them. They got a lot of shoots and everything on location, thanks to Disney's involvement
On an
here.
asteroid?
No, in NASA.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that whole thing in the pool, that's actually part of NASA training and stuff like that. They also, one of the rockets being fired off was an actual shuttle launch, which they surrounded it with a bunch of cameras, one of which was close enough that it got shook so much that the lens came apart screw by screw, and it was sent back to them in pieces. So, that's cool.
And Michael Bay was like, do this
All the
forever.
time. Yeah. All right, but
Was that because of the Space Camp movie? Was that Disney?
I don't know.
You know what
I
the
think it's
logo-
just because Disney had a ton of money. So.
It's been a while, but I think I would rather have watched Space Camp.
I want to watch it again. I want to see if
That little like beach ball robot.
I want to see if that still holds up to my kid memories.
Rather watch Spaced Invaders.
But Bruce Willis was in this movie. His role almost went to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh man, can you imagine yelling in that if he was on it?
Even more
I think I would have
incomprehensible.
liked that better, though.
Mm-hmm.
But Bruce Willis was working on another film that was failing called Broadway Brawler. And so he was looking for a way to get out. Disney was like, we'll pay off all that if you sign up to do this and 2 other movies for us later, which of course is how we got him in The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. But Bruce Willis also went
I
on.
like most of those movies.
Bruce Willis also went on to say that he really hated Michael Bay's directing and refused to work with him ever again. Liv Tyler turned this role down twice before they threw enough money at her where she agreed to do it. Most of the people on this said like this was a paycheck. Either, we're building another house.
Oh, and they
or-
acted like it.
Yeah, getting kids through college, whatever. Ben Affleck has since disowned this movie and in fact spent most of the commentary track on the DVD for this, making fun of how bad it is.
Ben Affleck's IMDb page has 2 movies on it now?
Apparently. But it also went to the point where I'm not sure if this was during the commentary track or not, but Ben Affleck did just say, so why didn't we just train astronauts to do drilling rather than train miners to be astronauts? To which Michael Bay responded with, shut up.
I've seen
Yep.
that clip.
Yeah.
Probably kicked him in the shin, too.
But,
Shut up!
yeah. NASA has since gone on. This is another recurring thing we have, similar with the core, where NASA shows this to new management and has them point out how many flaws are in it.
How?
So far,
Who has that much time? Or that many pages in a notebook?
Well, apparently, so far the lead count is 168.
Nice.
So we'll see how Joe does on this. Probably the same.
I got my work cut out for me.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense though. NASA's like, look, watch this movie. If you think any of this shit works, you're fired.
But Bay
If I
admits.
see you clap, we're having you executed on site.
Yeah. I don't care how patriotic you think you are. But Bay has also admitted that this movie has a lot of problems.
None of them are his fault, though.
Yeah. Well, no, he apologized for the movie. He said that it was a major thing to try and take on, and they only had like 16 weeks to do it. So if he had to do it all over again, he would change the whole third act of this movie. I'm guessing to add more explosions.
Yeah, so what's his excuse for every single one of his other movies?
No. See, you're reading it
for the
wrong.
first and the second act.
Well, yeah, that was my comment, but you're forgetting. I think what he means is that point where it slowed down for Bruce Willis to talk to Liv Tyler. He'd add something exploding.
Okay.
But
Or did you just mean the third act wouldn't be a half hour long, and it would just be another hour and 45 minutes?
either way, or a separate movie, who knows? But Bay,
Spoiler alert: this movie sucks.
yeah. Bay also admits that he was aware, even during filming, of all the terrible errors that this movie has. But quote,
Shut
it's
up.
a movie, and not many people will know. So basically,
He was more right than.
well, yeah,
I
but
would
basically,
wish
our
he
audience is
was.
stupid, so it's all good. So
I mean, he said that in many different ways since then.
he sure did.
He said that about Pearl Harbor. It's like most of those people are dead.
Yeah, they don't go see my movies. Fuck them. So, anyone want to guess at how much money this movie cost
All
to
of it.
make?
$110 million.
I'm going to say $90 million.
I'm going to play the under and just drop $1.
No, just $1?
Just $1.
Okay. Then it goes to Brian. It was $140 million. Yeah. Anyone want to guess how much money this movie made?
So much. So much.
A butt ton of money, didn't it?
How
You
many
want-
dollar bills would it take to make a sphere the size of Texas?
Not sure, Joe.
That many.
I'm gonna say $700 million.
I'm going to go under with $300 million.
I'm gonna shoot between the two of them at 500.
That was a good call. It's $554 million.
All right.
$554 million. My God.
Look, like this movie, I would me in, but I can see why it made that much money.
No, I could totally
can
get
too.
it. I could, because all the disaster movies up till that point look like garbage, sound like garbage.
Have a hell of a trailer though.
Yeah.
Yeah, say what you want about Michael Bay movies, but when we were watching this, I could have sworn this came out in 2010. just
because
looks.
his style hasn't progressed at all.
Well, no, it wasn't for that.
I mean,
But, like,
visually, like, it's,
visually, it looks good.
Mhm.
Like
It looks like
Well,
a
the-
2010
the
movie.
quality
Right,
of
but
the. I'm
made in
just,
98.
the quality of the picture is good.
yes.
Everything that's happening is just.
Yeah, the quality of the things
well-
happening in the picture.
See, it's weird because like the quality of the picture, I'll give you, but the actual camera work is
Oh
hot
no,
garbage.
but I'm
But-
saying
Yeah.
specifically everything that's happening
Yeah.
looks like
like his lighting guy and his set piece designer. All those guys were on point.
oh yeah like
I'll
just
even say most of the special effects not too bad for this time.
because this came out when 98.
98.
Yeah.
If you consider Godzilla
Yeah.
came out this same year
Yeah.
and just
Oh, gut check time, Rob. Which one? Which you got to watch one of them. Which one you doing? See, because Godzilla hurts you more on a personal level, but I think
I'm
it's a better
still
movie
going with
than this.
Godzilla because as much as I hate it,
Who's in that movie again?
Matthew McConaughey,
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria,
Hank Azaria,
The
yeah.
Simpsons is in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go with Godzilla. But it's close.
And
Like
that's
But yeah,
a sad.
also to bring this back to last week, Eight-Legged Freaks came out in 2002.
I'd watch Eight-Legged Freaks
Oh.
every
Oh,
single
I would
day
too.
Yeah.
before I'd watch
But
either of these.
the as far as effects go,
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
really the only parts you could tell were obvious dumb CG were like the shuttle itself. Everything else looked pretty decent. So much so that he used those meteor strike images in Transformers
he does that a lot.
in 2007.
He does that a lot.
Oh, he sure does. But I'm just
But
saying.
to go back to your point earlier, it looked the same as it did in '98.
It did, yeah.
Yep.
Like he knows how to use film.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know how to use
Pace.
it wisely.
I think we could tie some of this conversation into the actual discussion of the plot.
Well,
which
Which
would
we haven't
be
embarked
what?
on yet.
let's start with who's in this movie,
Yes,
Joe.
we have to go through that first.
Joe's like, turn this fuck up.
All right.
He's like, I got stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So you got return to the podcast, Bruce Willis as Harry S. Stamper, Billy Bob Thornton as Dan Truman, Ben Affleck as AJ Frost, Liv Tyler as Grace Stamper, Steve Buscemi as Rockhound, William Fichtner as Colonel William Sharp. He's also returning to this podcast. Everybody else is returning to the podcast from here on. Owen Wilson as Oscar Choice, Michael Clark Duncan as J. Otis Bear Kurleen, Peter Stormare as Lev Andropov as the Russian stereotype,
As Ruski von Red Hat.
yeah, and Keith David as General Kinsey
General Goliath.
as Keith David. So
Yeah, so quick shout out to Udo Kier and April O'Neil, who make appearances. in this
April
movie.
O'Neil.
I forgot her real name. Whatever.
Judith Ho?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's a porn star. Anyway,
April O'Neil.
yeah, yes,
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
you know
spelled
what I'm talking
it's
about.
spelled Kneel.
So those 7 actors who are returning to the podcast, you can watch their episodes on www.4ampodcast.podbean.com.
That is correct, Joe.
Did I get the URL right?
You
Yes,
did,
yes, you did.
yes.
I mean, it's nothing hard.
it's you know
That's what she
4am
said.
podcast.podbean.com.
yeah, we're gonna soft dock.
Yeah, 4am
Oh,
podcast.
there's some soft talking in this movie, all right.
What are you talking about? This movie's nothing but yelling.
And soft talking.
Soft dock.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
let's soft talk with this movie, shall we?
All right.
Whoa.
So before this movie has even started, before the file has finished loading, when the progress bar
What do you
appears
mean
on
file loading? Joe, you watched this on the page 4 DVD.
Yeah. You mean when the DVD loaded and you saw?
the file on the DVD
Okay, all right.
loaded. And I saw that this movie was over 2.5 hours long. I'm not even mad. I'm livid.
Yep.
And nothing's even on the screen yet. And this movie's already dead to me. Like, ladies and gentlemen at home, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be impartial on this one.
It doesn't get any better the minute they start talking either.
2.5 hours of this bullshit.
All right. So there's a asteroid, meteor, whatever.
Kill some dinosaurs.
Yeah, it comes down, kills some dinosaurs. That was only 6 miles long. Is that?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. makes a sound similar
Scoopity poop. Poopity poop.
Yes, that's exactly the sound it made. And destroyed the world, much like that song.
Sounds and smells
So-
like Kanye.
Is that his new cologne?
Yeah.
Sounds and
No,
smells
that's,
of Kanye.
that's Dragon Energy.
Is that a fucking thing?
No.
Oh, God. It will be soon, I'm sure. Anyway, so we get things happening. I don't even fucking know. So, there's a
It was
guy.
so long ago.
There's a guy in space repairing an asteroid, and you get
Oh,
this
right.
suspenseful scene of him installing an adapter or something. You know, like, what? Why am I? You know, because the music's already going like the crazy, like we got to disarm the bomb kind of music.
Yeah, and the dude and Billy Bob Thornton is going, look, we're not in a hurry. You have as much time as you need. Relax.
Well,
And this guy's freaking out. He's like,
And the score, like the
Flop
drums are
sweat.
going and all
yeah.
that.
And they're like, oh, he's about to have a heart attack.
Mhm.
So presumably, like, the catch of this scene is that he has to finish his work before his heart explodes or something.
Well, yeah, he's stressed out, and it's not good for any number of reasons.
No, the point of the scene is this. It's to tell the viewer, like, just relax, calm down. I know you're suspenseful so far, but just calm the fuck down. Nothing wrong can happen.
Because we're not
at
going to
any
calm
point
down.
in this movie.
No.
No, nothing's wrong can happen. And then it's like, boom, she's blowing up.
Yeah. I was gonna like, yeah, it's just like, why don't you calm down? Everything get out of the ground. Just
This guy
look
gets
over there.
shot like 20 times by space debris. The whole fucking shuttle explodes.
We also,
Explodes.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we get a whole thing about this dude and his dog on a bike and hanging with Mr. Cooper, driving a taxi and whatever. And I don't give a shit, but they're all going to be dead soon
Oh,
anyway.
you get a taxi full of stereotypes.
Just fucking, why? Why do we need this?
Because Michael Bay doesn't know how people actually are.
Mhm.
He just knows stereotypes he saw on TV.
Right. Yeah, like his entire experience. Because then we cut to this dude who's like an amateur, like, what is the word I'm looking for?
Astronomer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's just
Right.
this like retired military guy. His wife is in the background, and they are just screaming at each other.
Mhm.
You know the worst part of that scene?
Everything.
That it has no payoff.
Right. No, this has
Nothing.
got
Like,
nothing to do with anything.
I thought, because NASA sees the meteors coming towards Earth way before anyone else. And they say that out of all the telescopes powerful enough to see this shit, we have 8 of them, there are only 9. So I'm thinking this guy's going to be the one who has one strong enough to see it and like tells the world. And nope, nothing.
No, there's no
That
payoff.
scene is pointless.
There's just, he's in 2 scenes, and in both of
You
them,
know.
he is screaming at his wife.
Yeah, there is a payoff. He gets to name the asteroid after his wife because she's a giant monster that will kill
Oh,
us
yeah.
all.
Yeah, she's
But,
a life-sucking
Shane-
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then she flips him off, and then somebody slips on a banana peel and gets a pie in the face. And everybody in the audience is hooting and hollering and pissing themselves and jerking off.
So here's
Okay,
the
so-
question. Hold on,
Yes.
here's the question. What age did Michael Bay's parents get divorced?
I don't know.
Just,
You
I'm
think-
guessing fairly young.
You think they ever got married?
Yeah, I didn't.
I think.
I don't know the way this
Yeah.
scene plays out. That sounds
I think
like
Michael took his name after the pile of Cheddar Bay biscuits he was found in the Red Lobster dumpster. He took it like Jon Snow, like a bastard name out of the RJR.
So
No, not
Just so you know.
J.R.R. Martin.
yes.
we
Okay.
we have
I got
fast forwarded
space
through
dementia.
10 minutes of the movie. In that 2-minute description, that's 10 minutes of the movie we've just passed through.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even more.
Maybe
Yeah,
more
that
than that.
might be like 20 minutes.
Nothing else matters.
Nope.
Oh, one thing fucking matters is J.J. Abrams is involved in this damn
Oh.
thing too. I saw that in the credits. I was like, fuck.
I saw that in the flares.
Yeah.
We all had to work, guys. We know how that goes.
Yeah. So our asteroids come down and just fuck up New York. And everything's blowing up. And it's like the explosion scene in Independence Day where the alien ships are like blowing up all these landmarks. Except there's no build up to that. So like Michael Bay was just like, just do that right in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Just blow it all up.
Yeah.
And much like Independence Day, we'll get introduced to a lot of little characters that will go nowhere and do nothing.
Yeah, and then show a bunch of kids just playing, so you know, like, it doesn't really matter at all anyway.
And then they're like, everything's exploding at NASA. They're like, get the Hubble. And you get this like sweeping shot of the Hubble's flying by like it's some badass. I mean, it's
It
a
is
badass
It
telescope.
is badass.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Wait, no,
Telescope.
James Webb, though. That's going to
Now-
be more badass when that's done.
Real talk, Tony.
Yeah.
Is that this? Did he reuse that scene for one of the Transformers movies? Did he just turn that into Soundwave?
Probably.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Half the time, I have not taken enough Dramamine to follow this, or I go into seizures, so I can't say for sure.
That's fair.
bottom line, it's just a simple thing of like, what do we see through the Hubble? Needs to have a shot of the Hubble swooping out into the camera frame like it was John Wick diving out from behind cover with two guns shooting people.
Because as we discussed in the Transformers episode
Mm-hmm.
with the Pavlo helicopter,
Yes.
the Hubble is basically a giant. It's
Yes.
like Earth's dick.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to be front and center. Michael Bay wanted to show everyone how hard America's dick is.
Yeah, anytime you're showing American-made equipment,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to have fast cuts and be super exciting and have cool music behind it, even if it's just a chunk of metal floating in space.
And it's like, you just blew up part of America. That's all right. America's hard right now.
Yeah.
They're excited because they're like, great, now we got to go fuck something up.
Yeah, you
Like,
thought
this movie just strokes America. Like,
Right, yeah. you thought Florida was America's dick? No, the Hubble is America's dick. Florida is America teabagging Puerto Rico.
Everything is America's dick to
So-
Michael Bay.
And of course, you get the obligatory shot of the Twin Towers on fire.
Right, well, yeah, you want that.
You didn't know. I was 1998. All right.
So
So
let that go.
a lot of stuff is happening, and you're like, this is all meant to be portrayed as very serious, but I couldn't tell you what's going on.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. A lot of people in NASA, they're like, all right, we need a plan. Plan they came up with is like, all right, genius guy's like, we got to drill into the asteroid and put a nuke there. You can't just fire nukes at it. You got to drill into it. So we need to find someone who's good at drilling.
Genius guy? Don't you mean Luscious Malfoy?
Luscious Malfoy.
Is his
That
name
was
Luscious Mouthboy? Is that his, like, what is his name for real?
That's his name in my heart, yes.
it's Lucius.
Lucius
but-
Malfoy. Which is not any less stupid, I'm aware.
Like,
Now I recognize that fucker. That was Lucius
Yeah,
Malfoy.
that was Luscious.
Luscious Malfoy Jackson was his full name.
Harry Potter. Struck my house elf.
Pronounced Leviosa.
I've only seen one Potter movie. I think it was with Joe, actually. I've never seen any other than
All right, so
We should just...
I don't get
let's
your
not
references.
slow this down.
We need to do more
further.
Potter movies, I think, for the podcast.
Sure. Put on the list.
Change it to a Potter cast.
So yeah, we cut from all that.
Do it minute by minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut from all that to Bruce Willis hitting golf balls off of an oil rig at protesters.
Mm-hmm.
America.
Yep. And then he takes.
We know where Michael Bay stands on offshore drilling.
Yeah. And he takes a
a
shotgun
dick.
to go see Ben Affleck.
Well, he sees Ben Affleck first because AJ, who just decided to start drilling even though the boss said not to. He's like, fuck it, I'll do what I want. We'll do it live.
Yeah, I had a good feeling about this.
Yeah. So he ran in there, starts yelling at Ben Affleck, sees some undies lying around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ladies undies. He's like,
Yeah.
there's no ladies around here except for my daughter. Like, there's
Uh-oh.
It was
wait
a-
a minute.
It was a bra, and it was a see-through bra.
It's like, wait a minute.
Steve
Wait a minute, I
Buscemi, you
recognize
wearing
those
bras
panties.
again?
That's disturbing. So yeah, sure enough, it's his daughter, and she goes on some whole rant about how she was raised on the oil rig, and Steve Buscemi taught her how to use a tampon.
Like, alright, so he's more mad, not about, like, her fucking somebody. He's more mad about her fucking a guy like him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, someone who
And
works
not
for oil
letting him
rig.
watch.
They're called roughnecks. He's like,
Yep.
she's like, he's like,
Even though
I'm not gonna
that,
have you date a roughneck.
that is the only choice he has given her.
Right. That's all she's ever
Yeah.
been around. That's all she knows. All the men in her life
And
been
it's like,
roughnecks. So
You know
like,
what? Let's go commit murder.
Yeah. He legit says that. Like,
Yeah.
he legit goes up, I'm gonna get my shotgun, shoot the fuck out of you.
It's like, fuck it, I'm in international waters. Whatever.
And he starts shooting his shotgun around an oil rig
Yep.
in the middle of the ocean. And then he wonders why, a little later on, when the rig, like, blows up, shit ain't working right, because
Yeah.
maybe you should have shot with the fucking...
I mean, in fairness, they did that shit around Deepwater Horizon, too.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
But like, also he's upset that AJ here started doing this drilling when he knew that wasn't a safe place to drill or whatever. But rather than go and stop it, he yells at him for a while and then chases him around with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, everything goes poorly. The whole thing just kind of explodes on everybody.
And Ben Affleck this entire time is yelling like incomprehensible whatevers.
Well, this
Everyone
whole
is.
movie is
I
just
would
like-
I would equate it to like a sedated Yosemite Sam kind of yell. Like you slow him down. I don't know. Like Ben Affleck says a lot of things in this movie, but I can only understand a handful of them.
That sentence will be used a lot.
Yeah.
Plus, Ben Affleck's chin in this movie. I don't know if it's the lighting, if it's the stubble, but instead of being a butt chin, it's legit an asshole. It's like
it's a butt chin,
Yeah.
but someone's doing a
it's
goatee.
zoomed in. It's been zoomed in on it. and
A
it's an
common
asshole.
problem in this movie, like, you know how Battlefield Earth had the issue with the Dutch angles?
Yeah.
Like, this movie has the issue with you're only ever shown a thing for 1 second. And you're at a different cut. So your eyes can only be drawn to, like, the first thing they see, and then before they have time to even process what anything else is, you're looking at something else.
Michael Bay's
Signature.
film style is like the filmic equivalent of an 80s office Christmas party.
Yes.
It's just everybody's just sweaty and banging and on crack.
I'm pretty sure that's what's going on in the
Yeah,
editing room
yeah, exactly,
when Michael
yeah.
Bay's making
For
these
real, it's like-
movies.
And they're all geared towards people with ADD.
I'm pretty sure, like, before Abrams came in, the whole script was just, like, crayon, and it was mostly, like, scribbles of explosions and boobs.
No, it was written in cocaine, but he was snorting it when Abrams came in. He's like, whoa, we need that.
So Michael Bay movies are the report that had to be handed in that didn't have enough info in it. So he added all this extra shit to distract you from the fact there's no real content to it. And the stuff is so distracting that it takes up twice as much length as the paper was supposed to be to begin with. So that 10-page paper is now 20 pages full of bullshit to distract you from what was in it. That's what his movies are.
I like how instead of having like 2 or 3 well-developed, well-rounded characters, we have like 5 characters with one character trait, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, because they're all just extreme stereotypes of
Oh
one
yeah,
particular
they always
kind
are.
of person.
So, okay.
Did you hear? Did some people at home just hear my soul die?
Yeah. A lot of shit
Said a while
happens
ago.
here. There's some Japanese people. They get covered in oil. The oil rig goes off because they struck oil because AJ was right. And then, like, Bruce Willis fires him, and then the government shows up.
Well, Bruce Willis says he's like, I knew I was right. And he's like, that wasn't the problem. The shit is broken, which is why I turned it off. There wasn't no oil here. The shit was broken already. That's why I didn't want to use. Like,
Even though I left it on while I came to yell at you.
Yeah, but I want to try and keep this timeline as clear as we possibly can because I could not follow this.
The movie makes no effort to do so.
So we have this argument. AJ is fired, and the government shows up to take Bruce Willis away. He takes his daughter with him, and suddenly it's 3 months later or something. What?
I don't know.
so the government talks to Bruce Willis and is like, "Yo, planet's gonna blow up because this thing's coming. We need you to drill. We need you to teach these guys how to drill." And Bruce Willis is like, "Why would I want to teach astronauts how to drill? Just teach me how to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
I'll get my guys.
So much easier.
I'll get my guys, and then we'll fly up there and America this fucking thing."
Yeah, astronauts are too stupid to understand how to use an oil driller. They don't know how to point down and press go. Like, how the hell? We need a bunch of retards and convicts.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no.
sorry. I
We
should-
need the
no.
roughness.
Let me dig back into this.
Yeah, you
No,
should
no.
have.
And I use that term
Poorly.
poorly.
Every time I use it.
I think it's the first time I've used it on this podcast, and I
Nope.
apologize.
Nope.
In
was
fairness,
not-
though, like, when watching this movie, though, you are like, several of these people are below the Mendoza line.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Ben Affleck's character is definitely. like,
Steve Buscemi's character.
yeah.
Which, quick side note on that, I also read Steve Buscemi agreed to be in this because he was like, you know what? I'm really tired of getting typecast as a creepy weirdo, so I'm going to get this role as some, like, minor scientist guy. Like, he's all smart and he's got awards and whatever. And then they were like, hey, we got Steve Buscemi. Let's creep him up by, like, 109%.
No, for real.
So yeah, all that stuff was added in later about him like hitting on underage girls,
Really?
going to strip clubs. Yeah, like
Let him be smart. Just let him be smart.
What did like Adam Sandler do a pass on the script?
Probably.
no, Michael Bay passed the script.
They're the same person.
Pretty
No,
much.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
So
Some
they have
movies are
not
way
done.
different.
Yeah, they have not done a movie together.
So,
yet.
okay, think about this. Replace jokes with explosions. Bad jokes with explosions.
Add different bad jokes.
Different bad jokes.
And replace product placement with military.
Replace
characters with stereotypes.
horrible
No, that's both of them.
stereotypes.
Yeah, that's what
Oh yeah,
Replace horrible stereotypes with Rob Schneider.
Yep.
Doing horrible stereotypes.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a Sandler flick than watch this. Almost any of them. Not.
I would say
Yeah, that's
Sandler flicks, while they're terrible, they at least appear to be competently
Because
produced.
Wedding Singer is still my shit. So
What's that?
Wedding Singer is still my shit.
Oh,
Wedding
early Adam
Singer is-
Sandler.
Wedding
We're not
Singer is
talking about
great.
that.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
all
not.
right.
I
Yeah, I'll watch some Happy Gilmore.
Grown Ups, not so much.
I
No.
can't. Yeah, I can't
Jack and
tell
Jill?
you the exact date, but there is like before a certain year, any Adam Sandler movie you're all right with. After that,
I'm pretty sure Little Nicky was the cutoff.
You are correct.
I mean,
No, it was
or
Little Nicky for me.
Yeah.
Like,
was Little Nicky before?
yeah, no, Big Daddy.
after?
Big Daddy came out, and everybody was like, "All right," and then Little Nicky came out, and people were like,
Whoa.
"What the hell is going
Yeah.
on right now? What is that
But
voice?"
I thought what,
Some people were still on board after Little Nicky.
Some
I don't
people
know
are still
why.
on board now.
But well, yeah. But then what was the next one? Was that Zohan?
possibly
Doesn't matter.
I know there was
It-
somewhere
it
in
ain't this
there.
movie.
Yeah.
an Ada's boy. That's my boy. Ugh. Okay.
All right. So what are we even doing? Oh, so now Bruce Willis is like, okay, here's the deal. You got to get my people up there. We'll drill. So here's my crew. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. Owen Wilson's here.
Well, no, okay. So they go and get his crew,
Mm-hmm.
and they all act like they have not seen each other in years.
Mm-hmm. They were
Presumably,
just on the oil rig
presumably it's
together.
been like a day.
Not even.
Well, they're also spread across the at least the United States, if not
Yeah,
the
like
globe.
what did they get inside little pods on the oil rig and just fire off into the atmosphere?
It was like it was.
No,
They're
it's
like the Dragon
Voltron.
Ball.
It's on zip lines.
No,
Okay.
no, they're like the Dragon Balls. Like they got their wedge. They all got separated.
Yeah, each time they strike oil, they shoot off around the globe. You have to find them again.
And that's kind of what it is. Because, I also noticed none of them seem to have addresses. They're all just like, oh, I check New York strip clubs. You'll find Steve Buscemi. And Michael Clark Duncan is doing the Easy Rider trek down the, California coast or something.
Mr. Donkey, you have to come with us. Oh no, did Goku die again?
But, yeah, it's
right.
bullshit. All right.
So, I don't know. Yeah, they said in the beginning of the movie that they had 18 days before the asteroid struck.
Right.
So, they couldn't have had too many days to separate.
No.
Even if it was that same day that they all left the oil rig, the day they struck oil, they were all like, all right, let's go home.
No, because he still had like 16 days at that
Yeah.
point.
All right. So, anyway, the crew's here.
Joe
They're
has
all
like 10
in.
pages of notes.
Yeah. They're all in, but they're like, all right, we have a bunch of demands that are going to make you not like us.
Mm-hmm.
So, all this crazy stuff. We want to bring back 8-track tapes, yada, yada. And then none of us want to pay taxes ever.
I'll give him that one. Sure.
I mean, that's fair as fuck.
Oh.
Or-
I mean, if you save the world, I guess so. But, whatever.
Or at least just kind of be on, some kind of plan. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm never going to be poor again.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Anyway.
I'd be like, I've seen how you treat military people when they come back.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
no taxes. You treat me better than that shit.
You're going to treat me like every
I saw Rambo
ex-president.
First Blood,
Yeah.
Part 1, the beginning.
I want my sandwich.
Better get my potato wedges. All right. So, they're doing training montages, and I didn't write specific things. I was just like, these people are awful, and I hate them.
They're wild animals, for
Yeah.
Christ's
They
sake.
are wild animals.
And poor Udo Kier. Udo Kier.
A sentence you'll rarely ever
Yeah,
hear.
he's got a low standard. Udo Kier, you could be like, I got a movie about,
I am in.
he's in. And you feel bad for Udo Kier here. You're like, oh man, you got to be in this.
Oh my God.
He's like, hurry up, I have to go do a movie about a killer wombat.
I have to go be a vampire.
A half vampire, half wombat.
I have to go be a vampire. I also have some movies I need to shoot. But yeah, like my guess is they were like, we want you to play a scientist. He's like, I'm in. What kind of weird creature am I making? Like, you're actually just going to talk to some fat guy who's going to talk about the World Series. And Michael Clark Duncan's going to cry on your shoulder. Like, oh.
What you call it? There's like a part where they're getting sodomized.
Yep.
Because, butt stuff's funny.
As a kid, I was in
Sure.
montage.
Butt stuff?
Oh yeah, in the montage, I'm like, this is funny as fuck because like they're all just people being animals, or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is funny. But I was a kid, I was dumb.
Now you're like, the fate of the world is in these people's
Teenage
hands.
Brian, like 17-year-old Brian, had like hormones going on that he didn't know how to handle. He had farts going on that was too much for him to handle. Like, it was a lot. So he wanted to turn his brain off and not think about shit. And like, this movie did it.
Yeah.
Listen.
So that's why he wanted that extra 5-minute scene where someone's getting a probe shoved up their ass.
That's why he laughed at that scene.
Now, listen, Brian.
Pad this movie out because it needs to be
This
2+
This
hours.
room does not have a lot in common with Planet Fitness. But the one thing it does have is that it's a judgment-free zone.
Uh-huh.
You're allowed to like whatever you like.
Okay.
I would say even if this was done slightly differently, we'd be laughing along with this stuff. This stuff could be right up our alley. Like, if these were like funny people with a funny script, a scene about them getting, stuff shoved up their butt, that could be a great time.
Marco,
Also, if this was if this was a comedy, this would be great.
Oh, this
But
movie
in
has
a-
no idea what it is.
Yeah, but in a movie that's already 2-something hours, we don't need this.
Yep.
Michael Clark Duncan had like the only laughs out of me this entire movie.
Yeah.
I think Buscemi and Stormare, I think each got one from me, but they might have been pity laughs.
Okay. And there are some actual astronauts in this movie that totally get sidelined. There's one female who everybody has to specifically call out as being hot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's very attractive. And the thing is, like,
I am shocked no one hooked up with her by the end.
It's probably in a
Deleted scene or
probably,
something.
yeah, probably every single one of them did. And then, like you could tell that Abrams had a part in it because, like, her name is Watts, and I think probably before he came in, her name was just like Tits or something. And he was like, "All right, I gotta do something about this."
No, babe, down, babe.
Yeah, she
Down,
needs
babe.
that. Like, every line you have here for her is about sucking the dick. So I gotta, I could just change this.
Also, why do you have all the other astronauts in like full like flight suits and she's in a crop top and like
Yeah.
cut off shorts?
Crotchless
No inerrant
panties.
piece of asteroid cannot rip her shirt off.
That's her armor, because I read in these books where like they have armor that like and it works like I don't know.
So, I would also say this probably was a lot funnier in 1998 when we didn't really know.
How offensive it was?
Yeah, well, we didn't know better.
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't know.
Oh,
man.
sorry. So like we all the snacks on the table and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like there's a box of peanut butter cream filled cookies in front of me, but I saw Tony reach over to what I thought was Joe's lap, and I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" It was going in the bag of Doritos, but it was funny as fuck. I was like, "What the?"
Tony knows better than that.
I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?"
He was like,
I saved that for later.
he was like, Joe's getting really upset about this Michael Bay movie.
Joe did,
I gotta
Joe
take the
paused
edge off
and
somehow.
Oh
stopped.
yeah, he needed me to calm down.
Just do what Michael Bay does. Just go to a parade and get as many as you can of those little plastic American flags and just jerk off into those. And just leave them around your room all crinkly and crusty.
They're all up my butt while I'm jerking off.
Oh, okay.
with fireworks.
Fireworks, yep. He puts a M80 right up his butt.
In what I believe is slow motion.
That's fucking something else this guy does. Every fucking scene has like all these like slow motion like not of the scene itself, but like of background shit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Brian, you summed it up after I arrived here while you guys were watching it, where about 10 times I think you asked the movie why you have to be so extra.
So extra. This is so extra.
That's it. That's it right there.
The movie is just constantly screaming. It's just like,
Yeah.
even when people aren't talking, like the movie is screaming.
So we've kind of fast forwarded through this, but this is literally like 45 minutes of the movie is them just training.
Oh yeah, it's just dicking around and
And like
Of course, we get that obligatory shot, which me and Rob both just groaned and rolled our eyes at, where for no reason, Bruce Willis is standing in front of a huge American flag just to really get the point in.
America.
Well, yeah.
That's reason enough.
That's the reason.
thing is, this movie is 2.5 hours long.
That's got to be a poster in some redneck's room. It's just a big American flag. It just says, America. That's reason enough.
Yeah.
I had no doubt.
I'm guessing that's hung up on the wall right next to Nuke the Whales, because we got to nuke something.
Well, you can probably get it at Walmart Garden Center right now. But like, this movie is 2.5 hours long, and it's an hour and a half before we actually do anything asteroid related.
It's an hour before we launch.
Yeah.
Rob, we make sure to say America is reason enough.
That might be handled the wrong way.
You know, I'm still working on the Cat Piss Man shirts. Like, I've been kind of,
And
slow
I don't want to be
rolling
involved in a hate crime.
That's a good call. I don't want that on us.
Yeah, I don't want to turn on the news one day and see a Trump rally and everyone's wearing that.
Oh my god.
Fire Buckers! Fire Buckers!
As cool as that part would be.
And all the SJWs are coming at us on the other end, and it's going to be the worst.
Yeah, but like I said, watching
SJWs, Sojourner Weavers.
Yes. Sojourner Weavers, yes. So,
wait, but as
South,
I said,
South Jersey Wops. Oh, I'll have another.
Thank you.
Doritos, sir.
you just wanted a Dorito. That's why you said that.
As I said, watching this, even in the core, we were in the fucking rocket by this point. We were off and going.
I mean,
But in all fairness, the core was 40 minutes less than this movie.
The core was 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think.
Oh, okay. So
it was over
15
2 hours.
minutes less than this movie. Fuck.
Now, again, gut check time. Real talk. I think I'd watch the core again.
I'd watch this because,
I don't know.
See, for me,
I don't know.
the American stuff sometimes does it for me. NASA.
There was a lot less
I love NASA,
yelling in the core.
Oh yeah, there was. But
it was awful to look at, but you could see what was being filmed.
There's NASA shit, and I'm like real NASA shit, and I'm I would watch this over.
See,
they're both shitty, but
I think I would rather make a cocktail out of every cleaning implement under my sink, and then just drink that and see what happens.
I'd rather shove my own head up my ass, but I'm saying if you have to go with one or the other.
Yeah, I think the defining factor for me is in a group with friends, I'd rather watch Armageddon. If I'm home alone, make it the core, because I'll fall asleep to that shit.
Yeah.
At least they're not screaming so much that I can't get some rest.
Fair enough. Okay, so what are we even doing now? Oh, so now this is the point where the characters get 10 hours to spend with their families, and you spend so much time not learning about them and just not liking their obnoxiousness that you don't give one fuck about what any of them are going to do.
The most exciting part I had was that one gay dude from The Punisher was married to April O'Neil, or had a kid with April O'Neil.
That wasn't the same guy, was it?
Yeah, and that's the dude from The Punisher?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's why I made that joke about him beating up Steve Buscemi and then making out with him.
You weren't enthralled by Ben Affleck putting an animal cracker in Liv Tyler's underwear?
Oh, my goodness.
I was enthralled by that, but only because I thought they were going to start a game of Soggy Biscuit.
Jesus Christ.
At least he doesn't swear, guys.
Yeah.
Two things with this. We skipped over it.
I just don't drop F-bombs.
What did we skip
It's
over?
so much worse. But just quick side note. We see Bruce Willis, the father of Liv Tyler, goes off to find her, where she's in one of those engine tubes.
Oh, that's right. Make it out with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, they're about to get busy.
Yep.
And he's just like, I'm going to stop here and watch for a bit.
Could you say that again?
One more time.
Could you cock your head when you say it? Like this?
I forgot about this awkward ass proposal. Thank you, Tony. Because he's just making out with her scapula. She's, he's like, I kissed your shoulder blade 10 times. Marry me.
Yeah, he's just like, will you marry me?
But not just that, she's about to drop her top, and Bruce Willis is just like, I'm going to stand here and watch for a moment.
I mean,
That's not how it was.
I
He
think
was
it's
like,
supposed to be he's at an angle where he can't see.
Like,
No, I think
no, he
he's-
sees him in there.
Yeah,
He's like,
I think he's supposed to see that like they're actually being romantic
Yeah.
to one another, and he's like, all right,
that was
maybe
not
I.
romance going
Well,
on.
no, that's not
that
romance.
was what sparked him to get 10 hours of a wait time. He's like, because he was gonna be mad. He's like, we're about to go die, and this guy is wants to spend time with my daughter. Like, he's like, that's the right thing to do. And he's like, yo,
he actually loves him.
get-
Her.
let me get like 10 hours off so people can realize what the fuck we're about to go die for.
No, he loves AJ. He is just incapable of expressing his emotions towards another man.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is what Michael Bay thinks romance and love are.
Yeah. And
Naming
he's like platonic love
shotguns.
between a parental figure and somebody he sees as like his son. This is how, that love, the shape that love has to take, according to Michael Bay.
Yeah. Like, watch
It's
this.
like shotgun blast.
Watch this. Brian,
No,
Tony, Joe, I love you guys.
I love you too,
I
right?
mean it.
I love you too, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I...
That's all it takes. That's it.
Notice how Tony is silent.
We talked about this during the Pitch Black episode.
Very true, very true.
I don't have to receive it back. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm comfortable in who I am.
But you also notice Tony's not firing a shotgun at Rob either.
Very true. Yes.
Listen, just because I'm dead inside doesn't mean I don't care about you guys, all right? But anyway, but yeah, so we have the one father looking over at his daughter, about to have sex. I can only imagine, and it's a little weird.
I don't know. I don't know if Ben Affleck knows what he's supposed to do.
That's entirely.
We haven't
possible.
seen any evidence.
Well,
that-
yeah.
Let's do it in a couple places.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, I've seen his animal crackers so far.
Well, that's the thing. We are now getting to the animal cracker scene where they're now playing her father's music over her as he.
So let's be clear. Her real life father's music,
Her real-
not Bruce Willis's music,
Fair.
because that would kill the
yeah, no.
romantic.
It exists.
The music does immediately be gone.
Is
Bruno
that someone?
is a thing.
Is that someone
In all
farting
fairness-
through a harmonica?
In all fairness, that wasn't put in afterwards. It wasn't playing during the scene.
I know, but it's equally creepy for me to think about. Like, I don't need that image in my head. All right.
All that was playing during that scene was like
Stoopity whoop.
exactly
Stoopity-
Michael Bay jerking off into an American flag.
They
Stop with that.
you get the... He's not gonna.
I know.
No.
First of all, it's a fleshlight that's painted red, white, and blue. All right.
It probably says like your mom on the side of it or something.
I know. I think it says
No, it says-
property of the U.S. military.
Well, it says America. That's reason enough.
It's a spent motor casing.
Yeah,
It's a blow.
with a flashlight on
It's a
it.
blow up doll of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Anyway, what the hell was I even going to say now? You get the standard stock inconsistencies of like her dress is undone when she's on the ground, but he picks her up and suddenly everything's buttoned up again. That probably wasn't even Liv Tyler he was picking up. Standard shitty stuff like that.
But he's awkwardly dancing these fucking animal crackers up and down.
matter.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
It's just
Let it
dumb.
go.
Yeah.
So
So shit hasn't exploded in a while. So take that, Asia.
Like, for real.
So what part of Asia was this?
For
Because
real.
it looked like feudal
The
Japan.
1800s.
That was Asia.
Okay. Asia.
He literally was just blow up Asia. I think they do say it, but not till long after.
It looked
they've
like
already
Ninjago
destroyed it.
City. Is
Yeah.
what
I would argue that script said blow up the Orient.
It's probably what it
Potentially,
said.
yeah.
Well,
Probably what it
yeah,
said.
before,
No, it said Asia crossed out the Orient.
well, actually, Abrams changed it to Orient. Originally, it said blow up the Orientals.
Doritos.
It's too late. I can't get it to my mouth fast enough. Somebody needs to be feeding me these things.
Brian, would you like to dance some Oreos on his stomach? His mouth works.
Just shove one down his boxers. There you go.
This one, does it want to go north or does it want to go south?
God
I'll
damn
play
it.
some romantic music. It's a long road when you're doing it on your own. When you're doing it on my bone.
So, yeah, the only people who get these 10 hours, who get a scene during the 10 hours away.
I'll
is
double stuff your
Affleck,
Oreo.
Buscemi goes to see a bunch of strippers and stuff.
Buscemi takes the rest of the characters to a club.
Yeah, he goes to see a loan shark, takes $100,000 out.
Yeah.
And goes to
I think it was like
club.
$600,000.
It was a lot of fucking
crazy.
money.
Yeah. Which I also like that. He's like, I really want this time to go for everybody to be with their families. And seems to have forgotten that 90% of them don't have families.
Then Chip goes to see his ex. Is that a fart? Did you shit your pants?
No, that was the chair.
Okay, like I was like, yo.
Did you just shit my chair?
Yes.
He goes to see, I'm guessing, his ex-wife and his son, who he hasn't been allowed to see apparently. And
who's that, mommy?
yeah, like this part got me. I remember, like as a kid, I was like, oh, I was 17, but because like she has a restraining order against him. He's like, I know, but like I got something big coming up, and in my mind, like he knows he's gonna die.
Yeah.
He wants to be able to see the kid before he dies. I was like, oh,
It's like they all read the script or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, fuck that. We got to blow up Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then now it takes them like 15 minutes to get in the damn rocket. Like the two of them to get in the shuttles. Like I think you actually could get people into shuttles and launch the damn things in the amount of time this movie takes to get
Because we
them.
all need to stop for everybody to sing the same line of leaving on a jet plane over and over. Like,
Oh my god.
God damn it.
I hated that back then. I know. I remember that.
I liked the intention, but the execution was
Yeah,
horrendous.
Without any spoilers, this movie is as long as Infinity War.
That's a bad benchmark.
Let that sink in, guys at this table
Yeah.
who have seen both
Yeah.
and can compare the pacing of both films.
Yeah.
But like, it'd be one thing if they were all like, oh, we're all going to start singing the song. But they don't just start singing the song. They start singing the one line.
Yeah.
And I wanted to punch somebody in the face.
Well, that is a very good point, though, Rob, because like Infinity War, it has a defined pacing and builds, and like before you know it, that movie it felt like it was 90 minutes.
It felt
But
like
a
it
lot
was like an
happened.
hour long.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff happened.
I've seen that movie twice without
Yeah.
having to get up and use the bathroom.
Yeah,
I
Like,
can't usually
this
get through a
movie-
20-minute cartoon without having to use the bathroom.
like this movie knocks you the fuck out of it every minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus, how much more of this is there? Or like, get on the damn rocket. Like the
Like-
pacing is atrocious.
Infinity War is, say there's a treadmill and it's going already. And you drop it on it, you're like, oh, okay, we're going. All right. And then slowly has some inclines on it once in a while. Still the same speed, but you know, once in a while it's a little harder, and you know, but you're going good. And then all of a sudden it's like, kind of turns downhill, so you're running kind of fast now. And you're like, oh shit, what's about to happen? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you're like, oh, I'm done. Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know. By the time you're done, you're like, I need a shower.
Hey,
I need
I'm
to just
exhausted.
cry.
Well,
I need
it's
a
like
bathroom.
just before the end, somebody throws one of those Donkey Kong barrels at you to jump over.
And you're like, shit. But this movie's like,
But you feel like you had an effective workout.
yeah, you're like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like it was, you got something came out of this. This movie is like, you hop on the treadmill, it's going 100 miles an hour, you fall.
You just fly right off the back.
You get back on it again.
Yeah.
It's not moving at all.
Then it reverses direction and pulls you.
You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened?
You fall backwards, you hit your head, so your head hurts really bad. Then you fall forward, like knock your front teeth, and you're just like, oh, every
But then
part
you
of me
fall
hurts.
forward onto an elliptical that's on a roller coaster track that you are now powering by moving your feet up and down.
And then at some point you shit your pants and something explodes. And then the
Yeah.
movie's over.
All the peanut butter boners are gone.
What other ones?
No,
All
it's
right,
okay.
so-
it's okay.
I'm not gonna finish, bro.
I will say,
Whoa, waste it, but you can.
I can't remember
You're not gonna
what
finish
the
it.
actual scene was about,
Thank you.
but I did like that Gracie and Bruce Willis. I forget his character's name.
Yeah.
Like Liv Tyler and Bruce Willis are talking on the memorial for the Apollo 11 astronauts. I thought that was pretty cool.
Me too.
See, I would have found it cool, except I've seen other Michael Bay movies where he does that kind of forced.
Oh, it's a cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
treated
handled with all the grace of when Bruce Willis is talking about like whatever they want, and there's just a giant American flag behind him. It's-
Yeah.
Or when we randomly cut to whatever memorial that was.
Just
No, there's another point where I think when they're in space later on, we cut to it's the one where they're planting the flag or something.
Iwo Jima.
Yeah, Iwo
That-
Jima.
Iwo Jima.
Or in Transformers Dark of the Moon, where Optimus Prime is just sucking Buzz Aldrin's dick.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh God.
all right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and So the music in the first part of this movie is mostly just kind of like rock tunes, what passed as like awesome tunes in 1998, going in like, in some score, but in general, the music was working. Second half of the movie, holy crap, this score. It's the emotional swell, like the top part of that for the rest of the movie. It's just sustained the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because from here on out, it's all just like action shit. Just everything is going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong.
The launch goes right. It just takes goddamn forever.
At this point, like we're like, it's finally in space.
Oh,
There's an hour and change left.
President has to give a speech.
Yep.
Makes me wish I was watching Independence Day.
The speech in
over
Independence Day
this,
is better.
sure.
But not only that, but
In a heartbeat. And I hate Independence Day, but
I'll
in
go
a
with-
heartbeat, I
I'll
would
go
watch
with
Independence
Pacific
Day over this
Rim.
movie.
your taster's choice. But yeah, now we've gotten into space successfully, so now we need to spend a few minutes while we do a soft dock.
Yeah. The launch is admittedly pretty cool. I didn't have
Sure.
any problems with that. It's a good minute and a half of the film that I thought was actually cool to watch.
Again, I would find it cooler if we didn't spend so much time on all this other shit. It was
Oh,
just like, here's a bunch of jets going off. Here's a bunch of other.
I'm trying to find a positive.
Oh, okay.
That's
Fine.
that's as close as we're
Sorry.
at. Yeah. So then, now it's a minute and nine. I mean, I'm sorry, it's an hour and 9 minutes, and we launched off, and now we're in space, and we go into the Russian space station. And Michael Bay's like, "Oh yeah, you forgot. I like racial stereotypes.
He sure does.
Go, Peter Stormare."
Which I swear to God, he has a conversation with Ben Affleck, something about the pressure of this the gas fuel whatever line, and all I got out of it was yabba rubber rubber Russian yabba blah Russian blah 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 Russian. Like I honestly have no idea what he said other than saying Russian like 2 or 3 times.
That kind of was the point.
Yeah.
Okay, I
For
guess.
the sake of
but-
moving this along,
Fuck.
I'm going to sum this whole thing up. They need to get fuel from the space station for reasons. They do, something breaks, and they have to yell and run and get back on their vehicles, and then the entire fucking space station explodes.
Not to stop you on
Yeah.
that, halt everything, but they had everything exploded because they didn't have any astronauts that knew what the hell was going on.
Mm.
So it was just Ben Affleck left there with no idea.
Well, in
How to
fairness to
handle
Ben
this
Affleck,
thing.
all he had to do was pull a lever, and the
Well,
lever broke.
No,
He had to push a button
buttons,
and-
Oh.
part of the shit that he could understand, which he made him not necessarily on purpose so that can happen. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they wrote that on purpose so this scene can
Yeah.
exist.
Okay.
Which it seems unnecessary as it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
this
Like,
whole part is unnecessary.
most of this movie is unnecessary.
Yeah.
But he had to check the gauge, got certain high, press a combination
Yeah.
of buttons, and then pull a lever. Affleck just pulled the lever, so he
Yeah.
never hit any buttons to make the lever work. So that's what fucked up. So
All right. So when you're watching a movie where we're going on a mission in a ship to reverse some sort of weather event or restart the sun, stop an asteroid, whatever.
Fight a
use
geostorm.
I use Sunshine as the template for like a movie that does it right, and I wasn't a huge fan of Sunshine, especially how crazy it got off the rails at the end. But like Sunshine begins right now. They're in space and they're flying towards the thing they got to do, and it works just fine. And it has, it introduces its characters, it develops its characters, and like when those characters die, you feel for them. And it starts right now. And we've wasted an hour and 20 minutes of this movie, and I don't give a damn about any of these people.
I would say like for this movie in particular,
Yeah.
to Rob's point about like not having astronauts, what would have really happened would have been their crew would have been just for drilling.
Yep.
Well, what really happened? They would have changed astronauts to do it, but like aside from that point,
No, I get it.
there would have been a crew for drilling, there would have been another crew for all the astronaut parts.
Yeah.
So like Bay was like, nah, let's have this crew for drilling do everything. No, that's not what would happen. There would have been someone to make sure the space station was
Yeah.
safe and sound. The astronauts would have done all that shit would have been done by
Yes.
actual astronauts. Like they would have stayed on the station while the ships went out there.
Yeah.
Probably they would have gone up.
Well,
and they got right back on.
And honestly, like, I'm pretty sure NASA has a team of people that would know how to drill an asteroid right now, or at
You
least have a
would.
general idea.
Better than these rednecks.
Yeah,
Or roughnecks, or whatever they are.
I mean,
they're rough rednecks. All right. So at the hour and 21 minute mark, everyone has made it out of the space station. It explodes. There's a Russian in the crew, and now we're going to the asteroid. There's a lot of shaky cam. We fly real fast, and we're approaching the asteroid from the rear, because that was supposed to be where there would be the least amount of debris.
Yeah.
So I wrote down their plan.
Yeah.
Because I was laughing. They were hoping that as the asteroid passed the moon's pull
Yep.
would suck the tail debris
Yep.
off of the asteroid.
Would suck the asteroid off. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to come at it from behind because
Yeah.
going towards it means you're.
Yeah, you'd...
You know, no, I get that.
that.
But they were hoping that this would happen, and it obviously didn't.
Yeah.
So they run into basically an asteroid field.
So, one of the shuttles takes a hit. I couldn't tell you till after this scene was over which one actually
Yep.
took the hit.
Yeah.
Because
No
idea.
clue.
you're only seeing things for half a second, so you're like, I think that's the one with Affleck on it, but I'm not 100% sure. And the shuttle crashes and gets wrecked. And yeah, all right, that's the one with Affleck. So you think all those people are dead. But him, the Russian, and what's the guy's name? Michael Clark Duncan, they all got in the cargo bay, so they're okay. But the crew of the shuttle's just fucked. They're dead.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, Owen Wilson's going too.
Yeah, Owen Wilson's
Yeah,
dead. No big loss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Ka-chow!
yeah.
Wow. So, of course, this is when we utilize the giant machine gun that's on the front of this thing
Yeah.
to bust our way out
This is
of
when
the
you
ship.
suddenly you're like, why is there a giant machine gun on the front of it? And I believe Rob's answer was, so it would have a dick.
Yeah, like everything Michael Bay makes needs a dick on it. And so he's got these
And the
like...
big drill wasn't enough.
Yeah, they're like big caterpillars with drills on them, basically. And they have like... What is he? Like the equivalent of like an A-10 Warthog.
Well, it's a smaller gun than that, but it's like a fighter plane's machine gun.
Yeah,
Like, it's
like
a
a-
substantial gun.
And
I would argue. I know it wasn't
Yeah.
for this, but that it was up there to shoot stuff out of the air that might be coming down. Like I think, like because in that storm that catches a little bit later in the movie, like they had that up there,
Yeah.
they probably shot some of the bigger pieces, whatever. But fast forward, they won't fire with no oxygen anyway, so
Yes.
it wouldn't matter.
Also, that should be mounted on the top then.
yeah,
That's
I was
the
going to say
case.
that.
Yeah.
But that's also where I was saying, my guess is somewhere in the script, Michael Bay was like, all right, we're going to put a giant gun on right in the front like a dick. And
Yeah.
someone was like, why is that there? And he's like, because it's trapped in the ship and they need to shoot their way out. Fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Batman had it on his Batmobile.
It would only fire if there was enough oxygen in each bullet casing to get ignition.
Yeah.
Which they wouldn't do that. So.
Well, things wouldn't explode in space either, Brian.
True.
Here's the thing, Brian. They were actually the bullets from Roger Rabbit, so they each had their own little space helmet on.
Okay, all right.
So they could fire.
well, yeah, while we're going at that, I do believe, I don't know if there shouldn't be any oxygen on there, right?
What?
On this asteroid?
I don't think so.
But when
No.
they crash, everything's burning?
Yeah. What?
Because
Whatever.
just, yeah.
And the only real knock I'll give this movie's like set design and effects are these icicles that are everywhere on this comet. Look like the shitty ones in Batman and Robin that are like flopping around on the car doors and stuff when Freeze is using his freeze ray.
Yeah.
They don't look good.
No.
Other than that, though, the set looks pretty cool. All right, so what do we do? Oh,
So the other ship, the one ship is totally crashed with Ben Affleck
Yeah.
and everything. Everybody thinks they're dead.
Mhm.
The other ship crashes off where it was supposed to land, but they're okay.
Like 20 miles
Yeah.
off where it's supposed to land.
and they're starting to drill through iron rather than drive to a different spot. Whatever.
Yeah, I
Maybe
didn't-
it might take
that
them a
either.
while to get that thing
Yeah.
around. Either way, they immediately blow a tranny,
Of course.
as you do.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Is it
And-
going north?
And the government just gives up. The government's just like, fuck it, detonate the nuke.
I'm saying, like, what the, like, the reasoning is we have a 12-minute window before we can no longer do it because of reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they already told you if you detonate on the surface, it will not work and you will doom
Yeah.
the planet.
Well, somebody said that it would work, and I guess they want to believe them or something. But I would also argue, let's not forget, the government also is like, all right, here's our plan. 972 things have already gone wrong with this plan, so whatever. Just blow it up.
Yeah, and President... I
That's
don't
why
even,
Tony can't be president.
no, the president's just like, fuck it, blow it up. And they're like, here's all these reasons why not to. And he's like, no, just blow it up.
I'm the man that sent untrained drillers into space as astronauts.
And you can make the jokes there on your own. Like,
Yeah.
So
And then he rolled out the mission accomplished banner.
yeah,
Put it against the new wall we built.
and then you get this like so now the nuclear warhead arms. Bruce Willis is yelling, William Fichtner's yelling, and you get this weird like crash zoom where the camera just flies right into William Fichtner's face while he's like, "You are the worst astronauts in the history of NASA."
We're not astronauts.
Yeah, we're not astronauts.
Or I'm sorry, you're the biggest mistake in the history of NASA.
That's the correct statement.
Yeah. And then,
Other than maybe
What?
sending all those dogs up to die.
so Fichtner goes and he gets his pistol and like, I don't know, someone overrides.
I have
the
other orders
override
aside from
and-
this to protect.
Yeah,
whatever.
A bunch of BS happens. It ends with basically they shut down the like somebody at NASA shuts down the detonator
Billy
for
Bob.
a short amount of time, and then William Fichtner takes that time to look at the instrument panel. So Bruce Willis hits him with a wrench or like a giant pair of pliers or whatever that was,
Yeah.
and starts choking him with that, and then convinces him to disarm the nuke. And
No.
he does.
Also on this point, though, just because this kind of bugged me, but he's like, he's trying to convince him why they should shut down this nuke, and he's like, would you bet your daughter's life on it? Like, that's almost exactly what we're doing here. Like, if this does not work, she dies. Like,
Yeah.
So yes, that is what I'm doing.
Appreciate it.
All right.
So,
Here's where Steve Buscemi gets space dementia.
Well, yeah.
She
So
slowly has been going crazy. Like,
I
and you're not sure because he's as crazy as it is.
Well, his going crazy is quite abrupt all of
Yeah.
a sudden. Because now this is when Ben Affleck and his team, they get their armadillo to jump a canyon. A bunch of bullshit happens with that. They land it. They're on their way here. And then suddenly, like Buscemi, who was like the calm one, who was the expert in like telling them all this shit they got to do when they first arrived on the asteroid.
But also a known pedophile.
Well, yeah, but,
sort of.
Mhm. But
He didn't know it at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he keeps saying he never checked an age, so we don't know what happened.
Sure.
you know,
But no,
a
like,
probable pedophile.
I will argue this too, though. Like, yeah,
She was selling Girl Scout cookies at his door.
He quote unquote slowly goes crazy because we see him having, in theory, more erratic behavior. Like they're talking on this asteroid, and like he's just laughing at dumb stuff, and then he's
Yep.
like riding the nuke, like he's.
Well, that's it. Suddenly he's riding the nuke. Like
Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove.
But again, like this would have been a sign that he's going crazy. Except back at home, he was like taking out a bunch of money and buying a bunch of strippers and all this
Yeah,
kind
like-
of crazy shit. So it's like this is not out of character.
And
Yeah.
everybody's just yelling about everything. So how do you know?
Yeah.
Like what's
Yeah,
crazy?
Now he just like, I got the controls for the gun on this armadillo. Just
Start
on a
firing.
shooting spree.
Yeah.
We should point out that one problem we haven't mentioned was that they missed the landing spot.
Yeah.
I mentioned that.
But they're so far away from it now that they're on a plate of iron. So drilling through iron is way harder than what they were going to drill through before. So it takes way longer, which is why there's been an issue with timing as far as like get the shit done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
So basically, Steve Buscemi just fires the minigun a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Just
Go
if I can't. Because of the way this is all shot, I was not sure if he was supposed to be doing this or not. Like, he starts firing the gun, and for a couple minutes there, it's just like, what's the big deal? He's firing the gun. Until I realize he is hitting, like, all their
The
equipment.
Yep.
Like,
So then, at this point also, because not enough stuff is going on, the drill hits a pocket of methane, and like Bruce Willis is like, "Shut it down!" And I forget the actor's name that's in there, or the character's name. I don't know.
yeah, I forgot as well.
Porkins.
Yeah, this movie's Porkins.
Was
He's-
Max is
He
his
flails
character name.
about. He's hitting buttons or whatever, but he can't save himself. And there's a big explosion.
Why? What the hell is going... Because...
You would think there would be a very like prominent lever that you would pull that would just kill the drill.
Or something, yeah. But yeah, Bruce Willis is like, put your helmet on. He's just like, oh, I'm cooking in here, guys. He's like, well, get out of the thing. And he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like,
Oh, he meant
fucking go, move.
He meant he couldn't do anything because he was actually cooking hot dogs.
He had
on
a tray of
George Foreman
fajitas.
grill,
Oh, okay.
and he wasn't gonna stop until those were finished.
No, if he opened the compartment, those hot dogs were fucked.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. mess
So
with that.
he got blown into space with his hot dogs.
Yeah, but he died happy.
Yeah. And now you never see what happens to him. So if there ever was an Armageddon 2, he'd be on like one of these asteroids or
There
something.
you go, with a beard.
With a beard, yeah.
He's just living on the moon in this armadillo.
He'd be
Yeah.
played by Chris Christopherson.
Well, it'd be Armageddon 2 double impact because both pieces would have gone orbited around the sun again and come back. Now 2 pieces are coming
And
out.
one
the planet.
asteroid will be played by Van Damme, and
Yeah.
the other one will be Dennis Rodman.
voiced by Vin Diesel.
I was like, did you say double penetration?
Oh, is that on the list?
Oh, double impact's on the list. Don't you worry. All right, so
oh boy.
like at this point, the score not only is it not like it's already used the inspirational music so much that you don't care anymore, but it's really bad right here. Like something's wrong with the sound.
It's straight up off key.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. You're like, this is supposed to be sad, but this music is awful.
It's like the flute guy playing Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, I know something just exploded, but it wasn't a big enough explosion. So fuck Paris. The whole city just explodes when a bigger piece of meteor hits it.
It's Paris.
It's just gone.
So, Michael Bay decided that was the gayest country. So he, he's gonna
Because
bomb it.
they surrender because they're a bunch of cowards, so they had to die.
And like, meanwhile, back in the mission room, why Liv Tyler's allowed in there, I don't know. But she like slaps an armbar on Billy Bob and throws him to the ground and is like, why you got my dad killed? And it's like, he's trying to save the world. Damn.
You realize this was like a suicide mission to begin with, right? We sent 2 of them up there knowing one of them wasn't coming
No,
back.
she doesn't
for
realize
sure.
that. She grew up on an oil rig. She's had no education whatsoever. As far as we know, she doesn't know how to read.
She was educated by Steve
What are
Buscemi.
you
Thank
talking
you
about?
very much.
And Michael
She
Clark
was,
Duncan.
She was like fluent in was it Japanese she was speaking?
Yeah, Japanese.
She was just speaking nonsense to them. And they were humoring her.
She
But
also
she was
knows
a
Elvish,
stupid
right,
American.
Brian?
That's what she, when Bruce Willis was chasing Ben Affleck with his shotgun, she was like, if you want him, come and claim him. Sent a bunch of water horses after him.
Oil horses, you mean?
Yeah.
All right. So, so somewhere around here, Ben Affleck fires this armadillo out towards space, towards their direction or whatever. He's on the move.
This point he gets there.
Yeah, he gets there, which is just perfect because we needed another armadillo to keep our drilling. He starts doing some drilling. We have more is it the methane again, or like explosive pocket?
They have to touch back on in the training he was doing something and all the gauges were saying it's too much pressure and he's like, no, your machine's better than this, it's gonna work. And so like here to show now that like he knew what he was talking about then. So the scene is now same shit as in training. Oh, it's too much pressure. He's like, no, you build a better machine and it's gonna work. And sure enough, it works.
Yeah, if you're ever gonna trust me now.
Yeah, it was
blah, blah.
that unnecessary bullshit. Like,
And now there's a meteor shower on the astro.
they mentioned in the briefing that there would be rock formations they had never seen before. There'd be eruptions, stuff like that. So right now, an eruption happens
Okay.
because you can't say it in a movie without happening.
Right.
So we get eruptions and like sensual eruptions.
But it legit looks like there's a meteor shower on the asteroid.
Yes.
Which I'm trying to figure out in my brain how that works.
So don't think too hard. You're not supposed to think. Don't think.
I just, I can't, normally I can do that during movies, and we all know that, but like this,
Rob can't shut his brain
It's
off
like
for
the
this one?
treadmill metaphor because you can't get used to anything.
yeah, like that's the thing. You spend
Yeah.
all this time screaming and just yelling in my face. You use up all of your good graces
Yep.
immediately. And then like I have to activate brain function, or else I'll just die. Like I'll
to
turn
turn
into
your
a
brain
vegetable.
off, you have to chill, and this movie will not let you.
No, because it keeps kicking me in the balls.
Yeah. So, did Ben Affleck show up again with
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Armageddon?
Yes.
Okay. So,
But yeah, so now we got a hole in the ground. We need to put a nuke in it, but there's some other issue. Somebody has to climb down there, and ropes break.
A pipe bent, and that's when the
yeah.
when the meteor shower on the meteor starts.
Mhm.
Because you can't just have something go right
Mhm.
for nothing goes right in this movie.
For half a second, we can't calm the fuck down for half a second.
Everything has a wrong and a right moment. Everything is done twice.
But it's important to point out the dialogue of this scene because Ben Affleck, I think, says, "I think it's mad at us."
No, Bruce Willis I think says it.
Okay, and then the dude from The Punisher says, "It knows we're here to kill it."
Yeah, and throughout the scenes, it's making noises like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not able to confirm if this is Frank Welker or not, but this asteroid is growling like an angry kitten.
It could just be Michael Bay releasing into an American flag.
So at this point, you're like, okay, they drilled the hole, they got the pipe out. Someone just died. I think that was the bomb technician guy. I don't know. We're like, all right, so we're done. We just got to put the bomb in there and we can go home. And okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Remote detonator doesn't work. Someone's
Right,
got
of
to
course
stay
not.
behind.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, fine. Whatever. Hurry the fuck up. They draw straws. They're like, all right, it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and I don't see where this is going.
Yep.
But, yeah, he gets the short straw. He's got to go remote detonate, stay behind with the bomb, blow up and die, and sacrifice himself, yada, yada. But Bruce Willis is like, I'll take him down there, and just, like, knocks him out and pushes him back in the tube, and, like, I got this.
He doesn't just knock him out. Like, he rips
Cuts
his
his
oxygen
arrows, yeah.
hose away.
It's like, I've seen the future, kid. You're going to be Batman. I'm going to open a chain of really crappy restaurants. And get what's happening?
There's a bug flying.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a pretty good sized one.
And there's one of them house centipedes in the wall over there.
It knows we're here to kill it.
What in the actual hell is happening right now? All right.
Sorry.
Coming
We're
out of
pausing the
That's-
podcast
okay.
because Starship Troopers just broke out in my apartment. All right, well, welcome back.
Last time on the 4am podcast.
We just killed the shit out of some animals. Hope you're okay with that. Where
You
were
wanna
we?
be
It
a
was an
citizen?
intense battle. All right, so
Rob is now a citizen.
it was like Starship Troopers up here. That's correct. All right, so what's this? This is when Bruce Willis takes the detonator. He tells Ben Affleck to get the fuck out of here and go marry his daughter. Has emotional, in quotation marks, interaction with Liv Tyler, who looks dead inside during this
Yeah,
whole
she does.
conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have any other.
All right.
Wow.
And so they're
I
going
mean,
to take off.
wow.
And of course, the fucking shuttle doesn't work.
Like, nothing can just work. Like,
No.
they put you through so much shit in this movie.
But like none of it,
And by
none
this
of it
point-
lands.
Yeah,
You're
by this
not-
point, you just yell an audible fuck word at the TV because you're just like, nothing works. Like, can we just go home?
We are leaving Bruce Willis behind to sacrifice himself to blow this thing up. We just had a long emotional speech, emotional in quotations. And like, yeah, we can't just fucking lift off and get this shit done. We got
No.
now,
And-
the shuttle doesn't work. And then when the shuttle works, like, he's got some other problem. And
And it's not like we're seeing anything different in any of these scenes. It's
No.
always they just yell, a joke that doesn't land happens, and then somebody just does some like bullheaded, like, I'm going to hit it with a wrench, or I'm just going
Oh.
to keep drilling through the ground.
That's
or
right.
Whatever.
This scene was fucked up because take a competent astronaut pilot,
Yep.
the hot lady, and like she's like, I got this. I'm gonna go fix this, and then like so she's fixing it, trying to, and then here comes screaming Russian dude, and he's like, in my country we just break shit, and it works. And like
This is how we fix
he
things in
throws
Russia.
her.
he literally throws her out of the way
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, holy shit.
and just starts hitting this thing
Well-
with a wrench until it works.
Well, he does say, please move or I have to be moving you. And
No.
he just heaves her
No,
across the room.
I
Not
did not-
okay.
Joe must have had a translator when he was watching this thing.
She looks at him like, fucker, I'm fixing this. Back the
Yeah.
fuck up. Like, that's it. I'm moving, and he throws her away.
I believe he beats it so fire comes out the top, and
Yeah.
then of course
It
the
works.
engines work.
Well, like,
Yeah.
there's no stakes here. Like, We know, like, we've already looked. You're not going to kill Ben Affleck. You're not going to kill the entire cast all at once.
How great would it be if they did?
Yeah. Like,
We can't.
I halfway imagine that after the scene where it works, like, he grabs and just kisses her, or she grabs him and just kisses him, or something like that. Like just to add insult to injury, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah, actually, since it's a Ben Affleck movie, I am a little surprised she didn't just go like, oh, such a man, and give him a big kiss.
So now the shuttle's flying away. Bruce Willis is talking to his daughter. And like, they have 3 minutes before they're passing the line of, the 0 hour or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
So, of course,
Yep.
they have to be at almost miss the window.
First off, he talks to Liv Tyler for more than 3 minutes. And then there's another meteor shower. He's bouncing all over the place. They're like, oh, I'm going to turn the shuttle around. They're like, don't turn the shuttle around. It's like, even if you turn the shuttle around, what the hell are you going to do? You're not landing where Bruce Willis is again. I don't know.
Yeah, nothing can just work. Like, nothing. The only thing that just works is the landing. They land back home safely.
Yeah, everything needs to be like some big traumatic event and come down to the last minute and just... it's fucking annoying.
All right, so Bruce Willis hits the button, and
In super slow motion.
super slow-mo. We get these weird, like, first you think his life is flashing before his eyes, but then it's just a bunch of shots of Liv Tyler.
It is his life, Joe.
That is his life. Yeah, that's all he has.
But it's also her future. And on top of that, like, he also runs into a situation where, like, there's an explosion and he almost doesn't press the button in time.
Yeah,
It's like down to
almost
the
falls
last
down a
second.
crater of some kind and shit. Like,
So
This movie
stupid.
will not let anything mentioned go. If they mention
Yeah.
a deadline, has to be a last second meeting of the deadline. They mention a disaster has to show up in the movie. Like,
And you know what? You know what the core did better? The core told you like 5 or 6 things in the beginning,
whoa, bad start.
and you're like, okay, that's what's going to go wrong. Remember, because it was like the compartments could break off, so there was
Right,
the point
so
where
that,
the
of course,
compartments
that has to
had to
happen.
break, and like they mentioned these scenarios that like, okay, well that's the thing that's going to go wrong there, that's the thing that's going wrong there, and you knew you were done. You're like, fine, good, fuck, we're over. This movie, you're just like, Jesus Christ, what else is happening?
this movie,
And
it mentions some in the beginning, the way Corey does too.
Yeah.
And then it mentions more along the way, and then those also have to show up in there. Like,
Although, to be fair, maybe they did kind of cover this because I believe at one point Owen Wilson's like, "What are we facing up there?" And the guy goes, blah blah blah, whatever it is. And he's like, "Oh, so like a horrible nightmare where everything is terrible or something." And that is pretty much what it is. It's just everything goes wrong.
Well, that's the thing. Like he asks the question, and the guy gives him an answer of like all these specific things, and he's like, "You could have just said the worst terrain imaginable."
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I have to be a sarcastic turd.
Yeah, of course.
So
And dumb it down for the audience
Yeah.
because they're stupid.
So they land the shuttle on the airfield, and like everyone reunites. Woo.
Yeah.
everyone. So Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck, Steve Buscemi, one of the strippers, that chap guy and his son who didn't know who he was.
It's like, now we're a family,
Yeah.
I guess.
I know I had a restraining order on you, but
That was one part. So when they first fail at the shit, like the big asteroid hits the planet, and everyone knows now. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're all gonna die," whatever. And there's this montage of like families looking up at the sky and watching TV, whatever. And it's like little kids like, "Hey, they're strangers. They're strangers on TV." Like,
it's not a stranger. That's your
That's
dad.
That's your dad.
That's your daddy. Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Is that on the list?
I think so.
Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so you get like one more like America. You get like the F-15s flying over the airfield.
Yes.
And then Aerosmith plays us out while we see what appears to be a wedding and a funeral.
Yes.
Now. It's a wedding, and then
That's 4 funerals and a wedding.
Yeah.
The Roughnecks raised her. It was the Roughnecks who died. Had pictures there.
They were there.
Yeah, but just because of the timing and the way this is done, like I legitimately thought they were having a funeral alongside the wedding because they just have these nice portraits of them all sitting up.
I
and,
mean, it was.
Yeah.
They didn't have bodies to have caskets, so they just had
fair.
pictures there.
But
It's
and
a
they
combo.
also we see like I think you said it was like we are transported back to the 50s, where these kids are just playing in the streets with little space shuttles.
Kids in their little
yeah.
Oshkosh Bagosh jumpers.
All in sepia tones, and we've already had some parade before the guys even landed.
You know what would have been awesome? After they blew the asteroid up and it split into two pieces, and the two pieces went around the Earth, and, you know, everyone was safe, there was just another asteroid behind it. They never saw coming.
Just the moon.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, that's it. That's Armageddon from 1998. All right, so on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a whopping score of 39%. Audience gave this a score of 73%.
Yeah, I figured that part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's their thoughts and opinions. What about your thoughts and opinions / recommendations, Rob?
39% is pretty generous. I hated this movie. Like 20 minutes in, and like my head was pounding. I just wanted it to end. I wanted it to stop, and it just never ever seemed to actually end. I don't recommend this movie. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
That's all you need.
It's just terrible.
America. Is that reason enough? Brian.
Walmart.
On a shirt. I'm telling you. Like.
Walmart, the motion picture.
Yeah, this is another example of young dumb Brian, like in a dumbass movie, for dumbass reasons. An adult Brian is like, nah, like this movie is way too long for what it gives you. It does way too much stuff. It looks like it's cool, has cool looking things because there's still NASA shit in there, it's still in space, like it's still some cool looking things in it, but there's too much unnecessary stuff to warrant ever watching it again. Like, I can't in good. I mean, I'd rather, if you want to see space stuff blowing up, watch Apollo 13 or whatever. Let's go watch that. Like, it'll be a long movie too, but it'll be a better long movie.
It'll be way more exciting.
Yeah, it'll be a better long movie.
You don't care about if
some
the
good
astronauts come back or
performances.
not.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a no for Brian.
Joe?
So, I think this might have been one of the first times I think I ever felt betrayed in the cinema. I don't know, but I remember really wanting to like this movie, but I hated it. And I decided after I watched this movie last night to write down a list of 10 reasons why I hated it. Just so I would make sure to cover all my points.
Oh my god, you honestly have a 10 things I hate about you?
Yeah, I have a 10 things I hate about you about this movie. Okay.
Sweet.
So 1 and 2 are pretty straightforward. The standard Michael Bay portrayal of toxic masculinity is a great thing, and, you know, racism. The racism's only in the beginning, but, you know, you got to mention them. They're here. All right, number 3. This movie is always set to 11. Mm-hmm. And when you always set your movie to 11 instead of going to 11, you know, when you need it, 11 stops being special. You know, at that point, it's just, why not have, you know, an amp where 10's a little louder? Like, so when we're constantly going full throttle, I don't care. And I stopped caring very quickly. Reason number 4, the goddamn score. See reason number 3.
That rhymed.
Mm-hmm. I did that on purpose. All right. Number 5, it's trademark Michael Bay, awful camera work. Nothing's on the screen for more than a second. Everything's shaking around. You know what happened, but you really sometimes can't explain how it happened. You're just like, okay, I guess that guy's dead now. I don't know, something, whatever. Something exploded. Sure. It's really hard to follow, and it's really annoying. Reason number 6, it is a 2.5-hour movie that should have been a 90-minute movie and had no business even flirting around near the 2-hour mark, let alone being 2.5 hours long. Mm-hmm. Number 7, other than Steve Buscemi, there are no memorable characters, and I don't want to remember Steve Buscemi, but I just have to. Like, the characters in this are all awful. Number 8, the constant yelling. See reason number 3. Number 9, other than the occasional moment from Steve Buscemi and Peter Stormare, this movie is not funny at all. Like, at all. And finally, number 10, disaster movies suck to begin with. And this one is possibly the worst. I don't know if I want to fully own that statement.
I'd hold off on that one for now.
What's worse?
Deep Impact, maybe?
See,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 reasons why Joe hates this fucking movie.
well, but seriously though, because like,
it's not gonna be a new
I
segment.
never saw Deep Impact, but like Twister, like Volcano, they all have moments where the movie stops, pauses, and reflects, and then continues progressing a plot and stuff in a way that was slightly different than before. They were all at least somewhat competently put together films. This is
When's
not
the last time
this
you've seen any of those?
Oh no, they're terrible.
Okay, all
but I don't think they're anywhere near as painful to watch. Like this is painful to watch. Like and this is a hard one to like sit down and force yourself to make it through.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite go as far as saying the worst, because I did see Geostorm and I saw some of 2012, so it's got some contenders. But
in fairness, I've given up on the disaster one.
No, that's
I think
fair.
After this, because we're done.
Yeah,
here.
oh yeah, with good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as everything Joe said, I don't like Michael Bay. I like, even the stuff he produces is usually not that good. But the stuff he directs is just unwatchable for me. Like it's what I imagine having a seizure would be like. Like I can't follow most of what's going on. I have to like play catch up in the few moments between explosions, and those are so few that it's hard for me to do. So like, yeah, with this, I'm, constantly like, which guy just died? Was it this guy? Or was it that guy? I can't tell because they all just have spacesuits with foggy windows or screens in front. It's a goddamn mess. It's a goddamn mess from start to finish. Just everything you could do wrong with a film, it does.
They could at least put like colors in a spacesuit like Power Rangers, so you knew who was who.
Something. Fucking something. Although, to be fair, they color-coded the Transformers, and I still can't follow that shit either. So, yeah, not a recommend for me either. Lack of recommends all around.
To tie this to the real world, though, the thing that hurts the most with these, though, is these movies, they all make jillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they're god-awful. And it makes me so mad. And, like, I get so worried for, like, the state of the world we live in that these movies make this much money.
This is the argument I keep making, because I think you brought this up before, this is the equivalent of that Idiocracy moment where they go to see a film of a guy's butthole. And it's just like it'll fart occasionally or whatever. But
no, I get that, but there's got to be a point where you just got to live your own life. Otherwise, you're going to be wearing a tinfoil hat and building bombs in your basement.
That's why I don't go to the movie theater to see any Michael Bay movies anymore.
No, nor should you.
Yeah, if I hear he's involved with a project, it's done. But at the same time, though, I can't not be concerned that these movies continue to this day to make a lot of money.
To make it a point, like I won't contribute to that, but that's also like saying I won't vote for certain people who still might get elected into office. And it makes me sad to know that enough of the world will.
It's a little different.
Yes. But that's the best analogy I can think of at the moment.
Like, just remember, like, there's always been bullshit media put out there.
Yeah.
Bullshit stuff. People have always ingested bullshit because honestly, a lot of people just don't want to think. Like, they want to think just enough for, like, this movie got me as a kid because, like, literally there was explosions, there was space shit, there was fucking, like, Bruce Willis, it was fucking America shit. Like, it's legit got me as a kid. Like, as today, not so much. But, like, in the 90s, in America, Iron Eagle comes out.
That was the 80s.
Oh, I mean, but 80s, like, that shit, that was a time period where, like, that shit got me. Like, I was in, like, and so that shit happens. Like, it happens.
I get that. And I again, I'm not gonna, if that's what you like, more power to you. But I can, I've mentioned before, I saw Rampage. It's dumb as shit, but I enjoyed it because it was a mindless movie, but it was fun. Same thing with the new Pacific Rim movie. It was entertaining enough.
It was
real
dumb.
Oh, it was real dumb. Real dumb.
Oh, it's out?
But
the sequel?
Yeah.
Yes. But like I could still at least be like, I could see why someone might find some enjoyment in this. These, I don't get it. I honestly don't. And again, if you enjoy it, more power to you. But it just makes me cry.
I think they'll just go back to what Brian said is like 1998. Brian was a teenager, and it's obvious in these that he's targeting these towards a very young audience that just kind of does want some America and some explosions and like
feeds into your testosterone.
Yeah. Exactly. Appeal to your id there. But like, there's people that are in their 30s. There's people that my dad likes some of these movies and, he's damn near 70. And it's like, it makes me scared that people didn't grow out of it is I think where I'm getting with that.
Okay.
I mean, we all did, but a lot of people did not.
All right, but so that's not a recommend from all of us. So what would we recommend instead of this movie?
Anything else?
Apollo 13.
Yeah, I would say Apollo 13 would probably be the best one. I would say that movie Sunshine, but that one kind of falls off the rails towards the end.
Watch Starship Troopers.
I would watch Starship Troopers over this movie.
I mean, you want to
No
watch
joke.
a movie about an asteroid impact on the planet and everything. Land Before Time, is that?
There you go. Watch the Walking with Dinosaurs BBC.
Yeah.
Oh, let's try and keep this to one recommendation.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
please.
Apollo 13 is
Not
the
like
winner.
7.
We're just shooting other stuff out there.
Apollo 13 works. All right, what else do we have for the people today, Brian?
The funny thing, though, with Apollo 13, you can listen to the actual audio of those astronauts when like everything was going wrong, and they had to do all the stuff to save themselves because they recorded it all.
Right.
They screamed a lot?
No one's yelling.
Nope.
No
They
one's
just
yelling.
calmly talked through the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
It just went through their training and did what they had to do. And like the yelling that you see in the movie is all exaggerated for dramatic effect.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
They also weren't oil rig drillers.
Yes.
Regardless, what do we got for the people next week, Brian?
So we got a little special episode. We got a sponsored episode, right? This was,
Yes, we do.
Yeah, this is from
William, yeah.
William sponsored episode. Thank you, William.
Yep.
What's the movie we're going to be watching, right?
Well, we also have an email from William, so I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys. So it says, Rob, Joe, Brian, and Tony. Love the title to the episode, which was referring to our last inbox episode, which was like William's episode or all about William or something. It says, Brian and Joe's voices I have figured out, but I keep mixing up Rob and Tony. Sorry.
Well, Rob sounds
It's
like Matthew
almost like
Broderick.
they're brothers.
Tony sounds... Oh, sorry.
I sound like Matthew Broderick. Tony sounds like
Higher pitch.
Strong
Sarah
Mad.
Jessica Parker. I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Sorry.
Wow.
Shots fired.
And he goes on to say, I read The Dragon and the George in high school. I read the entire series. The author died before finishing it, and if I remember correctly, they took the notes and created one last book in the series that didn't wrap up the overall story. He congratulates Joe on his promotion.
Thank you.
Did we read this one already?
No.
Well, I
You
read it to you guys in private.
What are you
Since-
talking about? This is my first time.
But
hearing
since it's
it.
pertinent to
Yeah, no,
the
okay. Sorry.
thing. I want my money out of sponsoring an episode. Well, sorry in advance. I'm tempted to go with 7 Samurai 1954, 3.5 hours of subtitled awesomeness, or Charge of the Light Brigade 1936 that inspired animal safety laws for movies
I would
after
love
they
you long time.
killed 25 horses making the climactic scene, or maybe
Wow.
something really fun like The Swan Princess or Black Dynamite, or the movie that almost killed the mouse, Disney's Black Cauldron. I don't.
Dorothy love crunchings and
Yeah, I don't want to deal with Gurgi. Thanks. Ugh, spankins and wankins. What?
I don't know any of those movies. I think I may have seen Black Cauldron, but I don't remember it.
That was one that Tim Burton actually worked on, I believe.
I can tell you about spankings and
Crunchings
wankins.
and munchings.
Oh,
Rob.
was it?
Crunchings and munchings.
Okay.
I know it's not spankings and wankings.
It is. Now.
It is for us, yes. But
It is when I watch it. But in the end, I've decided to go with 1992's Ladybugs, starring Rodney Dangerfield.
That's a big difference.
That is a very big difference, Will.
It's one of my favorite childhood movies, and I had a massive crush on Vanessa Shaw after seeing it in the theater. The Everly Brothers said it all. All I have to do is dream. Also, I think this movie is especially interesting given all the recent stories of men having sex change operations or preparing for operations and competing in women's sporting events. He lists some links that we're just not gonna ever look at.
I appreciate the effort, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I chose ignorance very carefully.
Rob, ignorance chose you.
Ignorance did choose me.
Well,
And you know
that's the
what?
thing.
We've been great bedfellows. I'm good.
I see what he's getting at, but I'm sure this does not handle any of those subjects in any graceful way. But
Well, I mean, long story short, thank you very much, William, for sponsoring an episode.
yes, thank you.
And Ladybugs will be next week's episode.
I like that he apparently could not decide whether he likes us or hates us, so he decided he really, really hates us.
Is it really?
William,
So-
when that movie
sorry.
came out, William, when I saw it on TV, because I never saw it in the theaters, I enjoyed the movie too, William. So I enjoyed the
William,
movie too.
I'd watch Ladybugs 100 times before I watch Armageddon again.
I've never seen Ladybugs, but I will go ahead and echo that.
That was the time when like Dangerfield. I'd watch the movies. He's a flashy old guy. For some reason, I thought it was funny.
I remember there's a part where he's staring at the back of a minivan that's filled with soccer balls, and he says, "I got a lot of balls," and it's funnier than anything in Armageddon.
Okay. Also, just before we go any further, I was kidding, William. Please don't take that personally. Anything
We
I
love
say.
you, William.
Maybe we'll watch Back to School after this one. Maybe I don't know.
We're all getting laid.
I am a little disappointed if you're
it-
going in the Jonathan Brandis direction. You didn't pick sidekicks.
It could have been Rover
No,
Dangerfield.
the
Yeah.
Chuck Norris
That's
one.
Chuck
Yes.
Norris.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And Joe Piscopo.
Oh man.
Why not?
All right, so next week we got Ladybugs for a very special sponsored episode. Thanks to William. Thank you again. What else we got for the people, Rob?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and yawn off.
Rob's past his bedtime.
It really is. Wow, it really is. So, guys, we want to thank you so very much for listening. We really do appreciate you guys tuning in to our nonsense every. Oh, okay. To our. La 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 la. So you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 4am Podcast. You can find our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can find all of our old episodes there. We got a lot of really good stuff that we did way back in the day. We've done Predator already. Did you know that? Did you know that?
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, the one coming out.
Hey, you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. I stand by that Predators film with the.
I was okay with it. I
Skull
only saw
Island
about
guy.
half of it, but I was
Yeah,
okay with it.
it's fine. Yeah, and am I missing anything? The website. Oh, and you can email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com.
Don't judge him, Tony. He's been through a lot.
Yeah, it's like I'm still looking over my shoulder for bugs every second now.
All right, so thank you for joining us this week for Armageddon. Hope you all join us next week when we review Ladybugs. But until then,
Deuces.
Later, guys.
good night, everybody.